thanks for even doing this. Swiss and Timberland were like, who would you battle with? And I said, it just has to be somebody of a certain level of respect on the cloth we come from. When he threw your name and said, what about RZA? I said, man, if he's down, I am.
And that's how one of the biggest moments in hip-hop was formed to be. Just took place this past Saturday. And I have to say, I sat and watched the entire thing. Thank you, Preem, for shouting me out, man. I felt like I was a part of history when you said my name, man. Yeah, I was like, man, I hope that dude see me in there, Heather. I might have sent about 15 comments. And then you shouted out Heather B's name. And I don't know if you realize it, Preem. And sometimes when you're in the moment, it ain't what you're aiming for. But you really... Y'all united the world on every level from every generation. Even when y'all start playing songs that were big overseas, you had people tuning in from Europe, Germany, Japan, Africa, the Netherlands. I mean, folks came to see DJ Premier versus RZA live on Instagram Live, man. Give that man a round of applause. We got the God himself on the line, the one and only DJ Premier.
Yo, crazy.
Yo, what does it feel? What did it feel like while it was happening? Because I heard the most amazing stories. What did it feel like for you?
It's funny because when I tour and go live and be on stage, even when we just did the Gods of Rap tour with Wu-Tang and Public Enemy Radio and De La Soul and for me to to be on stage in front of 17,000 people every night, sold out. I'm always ready to rock and just ready to go before this one. I don't know, something about the day that it was finally up to the day, because I knew 3 days prior, and then now it was like, today is the day. I'm laying in bed just like, this is it. I started getting nervous, like, oh man, it's actually going down today. It's almost like the fight you got to do at 3 o'clock. And I was like, man, what's going to happen? Because everybody was hitting me prior to the announcement going, yo, you got to play this. And people sending me lists. I mean, everybody was like, yo, you got to do this. And I'm like, I'm not looking at anybody's suggestions. And I'm glad I did not, because everybody was sending me stuff. Yo, you got to play this to get them. And I'm like,
who was sending you stuff? Like, give me an example of who was sending you lists.
Man, actors that I forgot I even gave me their numbers. It's like comedians, famous comedians and stuff were like hitting me up, going, "Yo, you gotta make sure you get them with this." And I'm like, "Yo, this is starting to give me nerve, get me like out of my zone. Let me just ignore all of that." And I just ignored it. It was becoming like that annoying because, and I know that it was all for fun. We didn't get paid for it or anything like that. I even told Swiss I didn't want to say the paperwork to him because we did it for the love. But when we did the drops to announce it, but I just didn't want to let anything sway me from how I know I would attack based off of whatever RZA's throwing at me. I'm not really a battle DJ, but I know if we're going record for record, because me and P Rock have been touring for a few years doing it. You just go record for record based off of what drops. If I go first, cool. If he goes first, I'm going to bounce off of whatever he drops. And that I just made me some crates. I made a spank 'em crate. I made a just in case crate. You know what I'm saying? If things go left and he wants to go there, I made a unreleased crate. There's stuff that he got mad exclusives, and we're going there. But I knew from what Swiss and Tim said, they said strictly 20 bangers. So I was like, all right, then that's the crate I need to keep my mind on.
Wow, we got DJ Premier here. Just went up against RZA. So you and RZA never talked before the battle?
Not at all.
When you guys start telling stories after, like RZA started with Liquid Swords off the back, and you were like, oh, shit.
Yeah, you caught me off guard with that.
Yeah, and then I think you came with Jay, 1,000,001 Questions.
Yep.
right? So you were calling audibles through the whole thing, because I know football teams have they list the top 20 plays they're gonna start with, and then they kind of adjust from there or whatever they're gonna do. So you called audibles after every song.
After every song, yep.
Wow.
Wow. Oh man, that's crazy. Did you anticipate the storytelling? Because to me, I think Swiss and Tim and you and RZA should make that whole battle, which was a couple hours long. You ain't got to change nothing about it. Just package it up and offer it to the world as a hip hop documentary. Because the stories you guys are telling on that are amazing, man. What was your relationship like back then in the 90s?
Yeah, like in 90, going into 92 when we were working on Daily Operation album, that's when Dwick came out. A lot of people don't know that Dwick came out in 92 as a B-side to our single Take It Personal. A lot of people think because it was on the Hard to Earn album in 94, that Dwick came out around then, unless you obviously were around during that time,
Yeah, we were
like
playing
all
that
of us.
back then.
But
yeah,
but the label wouldn't put it on. We were like, this record is popping in the street. Please put it on the album, because everybody was releasing B-sides back then. Public Enemy had Rebel Without a Pause before Nation of Millions, and it was always B-sides on 12-inch singles back then. So we were just doing a B-side like we always did on our first Gangstar singles. So when that one popped off, Arrested Development was also a label mates of ours, and when they did the remix to People Every Day, that one popped off more than the album version, and they restriped the album with that, and it went double platinum. So we were like, do the same for us and put it on the album, because whenever we'd run into friends of ours, they were like, man, we just bought your album and Dwick ain't on there. And I'm like, I know the label won't let us. So the only way you could get it was a 12-inch single. So if you didn't have a turntable, you couldn't even get Dwick. You know what I'm saying? So because of that's what led to that era. RZA and Genius, which is the Jizza, used to come to our house and hang out. Easy Mo B used to come over there. RZA would come over there, and RZA was very cocky about, I'm about to do something that no one has done. He told us that literally and said, I'm going to put this group together with my homies from Brooklyn, Staten Island, and I got this dude from Long Island who lives in Staten Island named Method Man. And, when he told us back then, he said, we're going to be one of the biggest things ever, and it's going to be the biggest following. I mean, he was saying it like that then in late 91 going into 92. And, even when he said it was kind of like, okay, yeah, whatever. That's a little bold, but okay, hope it works. And then I'm at a club and with Guru, and we're with Onyx, and we're just at the bar kicking, and me, Sticky Fingers, Fredro, and Guru, and but y'all remember the arena, right, Heather?
Yeah.
Remember the arena? And yeah, it was like they did a lot of lyrics lounge stuff there.
Yep.
But they also had a regular night that you could just go in there and hang for hip hop. And we're chilling in there, and all of a sudden, Protect Your Neck comes on, and as soon as it comes on, Fredro and Sticky Fingers start wilding and kind of mosh pitting each other next to us by the bar, kind of elbowing us and everything. And we're like, what's the excitement about it? He's like, yo, this is that shit. This is that shit. I don't even know what the record is. And he's like, that's Protect Your Neck. That's Rakim. They didn't say RZA. He said, that's Rakim. And, we knew him as that at the time when he was on Tommy Boy. So he said, that's Genius. And we, all I knew was Genius being on Cold Chillin' at the time. And we just like, I still don't fully get it because they're singing the lyrics memorized. I'm like, damn, as a DJ, there's not a record that I don't know. So, and maybe 2 or 3 days later, video music by Ralph McDaniels and Lionel Martin played a video, and I'm like, oh shit, there goes A Song Unique, because we knew Old Dirty Bastard already years ago. He used to come hang out with us, but he was A Song Unique. And like even in Brooklyn Zoo, he says, I'm the one man army A Song, because we know him as A Song Unique. We didn't know him as Old Dirty Bastard. So when we saw his part come on, we like, oh, there go A Song, and then Jizza's verse was at the end of the song. So when he came on, we're like, damn, they're going to genius. But then they started saying SZA and RZA, and we just was like, that's what he told us about back in '92 that this was going to go down.
Wow.
You know, so he kept his vision, man. And then, look, wu-tang is a cult. Like it's worldwide in any country. I don't care if you go to. I've been to India, and I mean, rundown cities, and kids are rocking wu-tang shirts and the hats, you know, with the logo. You know, it's just wu-tang everywhere. So you know, I'm proud of their success, and then he turned all of them into stars individually.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the best part too. Hearing you guys just salute each other and give so much respect and praise to the other person's craft, career, and journey. Yeah. And the best part of it that I think this younger generation could benefit from, because a lot of these things were happening before they were even born, is that y'all still at the top of your game. You're still making impactful work, whether it's through music or even in RZA's case, and in your case, or whether it's in film. You know, you guys are still, you can have a career of integrity and master your craft and be around as long as all of us have been. And then I heard you shouting out Heather B on the timeline, and I was like, oh shit, Heather's in here. I thought you was gonna play I thought you was gonna play some unreleased music from Heather B.
Please, Sway, get out of here. No, Sway always starting Preem, but no, it was so funny because early this morning when we came on the show talking about, you know, the history that you and RZA did, I was like, yo, to be sitting there in your house watching this, I had my pajamas on. I was ready to go upstairs and put my Timbs on with my pajamas. I was just running around the house like screaming, and you know, it's crazy because. Like we've been around each other for so long, but man, like for real, Preem, the body of work that y'all have done, and just to think, people heard the joints, they heard 1,000,001 Questions, they heard MCs Act Like They Don't Know, they heard Devil's Pie, they heard Nas Is Like, they heard The Evils, they heard Do It, but it was so many joints that you still didn't even get to. Like I came on the show this morning, like Sway. Play my Code of the Streets. I need to hear that because I didn't hear it on the thing. It's like, was there one record do you wish that you could have got in there?
I wanted to play Stick to Your Guns with Cool G Rap, by MOP with featuring Cool G Rap, because I just always loved that record. I had Code of the Streets in the Spankum folder.
The Militia, was the Militia in there too?
So many.
Yeah.
Was that? Yeah,
was
there was
Militia?
so many that I didn't get to. It seemed like that 20 came around so quick, you know. And I kept throwing them in a folder as I played them, so I would know how I keep counting how many I had left. I was like, damn, man, I still have like so many other ones I want to play, but I just had to kind of bounce it. I wanted to even play the original from J. Rue because RZA saw me one day at a club, and this is the way this is when Wu-Tang album hadn't dropped yet, only the single was out. And he saw me in the club and said, yo, man, that Come Clean is dope, but I got something that's gonna smash that. And I was like, well, we'll bring it. Like, we were talking like that then. And he was like, yeah, I got this joint called Glaciers of Ice. We just shot the video. It's about to drop. And then we saw the Glaciers of Ice video. Oh. And then J. Rue and I dropped the original. And when the original came out, maybe a month or two later, I saw RZA in L.A. at a club. And he came straight over to me and said, yo, that the original's crazy. That drum roll is nuts. That off-key piano. But I got a piano joint that's going to knock that out the box when the album drops. It's called Cream. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And then when I heard Cream, I was like, God damn, this nigga got me on this one. Cream is sick.
Oh, man.
And I saw him later on and said, yeah, you got me with Cream. You win that one. Like, we were jokingly talking shit to each other back then. So it was only right to tell the stories.
Yeah, man. But it was a friendly competition then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Even though still, but leading up to it, I was like, man, it's happening today. Like, I felt like it was our Super Bowl Sunday, and we got to win that trophy, you know.
Because he came with when he played Ice Cream by Raekwon, you came with Unbelievable by Big. So, by this time, man, I mean, the gloves start coming off early. Like when he played Wu Gambino's, and then you play Big L, the enemy. I said, okay, shit.
Yeah.
Preem doing something right now. Then, and then he played Run. When he played Run, I was like, well, what is he going to come back with after Run? And you came back with KRS-One. MCs act like they don't know.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Shit,
When
I
Run
forgot
came
all
on,
about that.
I was dancing around when Run came on. Like, I'm all into it. Like, damn. I'm enjoying what he's playing.
Mm-hmm. He played Method Man, METHOD Man, and then you came with Just to Get a Rep. It was just like, oh my God.
Yeah, yo, that was crazy. That was crazy.
I remember my manager sitting there across from me, like, oh, I don't know if Just to Get a Rep is the one you should drop, and I'm like, man, fuck it, I'm going for it, and I'm wondering, like, what's the public thinking? Like, damn, you should have played that one. But I'm like, man, nah, we're going to stick up mode.
Mm-hmm. Was it any of the combinations you felt like, damn, he might have got me on that one?
Yeah. Oh man, when he did Wu-Tang Clan, ain't nothing to fuck with, and brought his kids out with the Wu outfits on and everything. I said, you motherfucker, you. I mean, that was so dope. I mean, it just popped out right on the, bring the ruckus, Wu-Tang Clan. And I was like, oh, he brought the kids out. And Wu-Tang's for the kids.
Mm-hmm. But Preem, it was dope. Y'all had such amazing showmanship for each other because I can't remember which joint it was, but RZA was even like, nah, because you was being respectful, both of y'all at the time and everything, and RZA was like, nah, you gotta let that hook come in. You gotta play the hook, Preem. So he went back.
Even on Duet, I didn't play Guru's verse because they the Swiss and Tim say, kind of keep it, play it first, maybe go to the end of the verse, cut it off. So I didn't want to extend, and he's like, yo, you gotta play Eeny Meeny.
I need that Eeny Meeny, right?
Back on. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy. Such great showmanship with both of y'all. It was dope.
Incarcerated.
Yeah, and even Obama was in the clocked in for a hot second, because even if somebody clocks in and clocks out, it still counts how many people clocked in, and even though we hit 200,000 for a brief minute, we totaled 849,000. People that actually clicked in, and that's almost 1 million people. Like, that's crazy.
I knew you were saving 10 crack commandments. I knew that would be your last, like your 20. I figured that, right? Was that how you was thinking? Were you ever tempted to put, because he played All I Need, and that was like, oh shit. And then did you save that one for whatever his biggest hit may have been?
I had 4 that I said it's got to be the last one. And Crack Commandments was one of the 4, so I didn't want to, I just wanted to be able to have at least 4 options just in case he just like, because Triumph is just like, oh man, and he didn't even play Daytona 500. There were songs I was like knowing he's coming with, so that he didn't play. That's why I was like, you know what? Let me just make sure I have at least 4. So
can you tell us those 4?
Should I?
See, Sway, hey Preem, I said this morning, I was like, Sway, I haven't even talked to Preem. I'm leaving him alone. Like, Preem don't need no phone calls before or after this thing. I'll wait to talk to Preem this morning. Sway ain't right, Preem.
Hey, man, I pulled my...
Sway ain't right. Yesterday was bananas. I didn't even... Again, this is my private line. Y'all have it. Y'all been having my private line. I had texts from people where I'm like, yo, how'd they get my number? And they were all like, yo, last night was amazing. And, yo, it was, I needed that. And I'm just like, how'd you get my number? And it was that long of a list of people hitting me up on my phone. And I'm like, yo, I got to change my number. And again, it's because I don't know how it got out, but it was that many texts from people just saying how much they enjoyed the battle yesterday. So it made me feel good. I just didn't reply to words like, yo, this is so and so, and I'm cool with them. I just was like, I'm not replying to all these people. If I see Heather, it's always automatic. If I see Sway, it's always automatic. You know, Tracy D don't have my number, and if I saw her, I would reply to her too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's love.
You know?
That's love. Tracy, you get that? Tracy, you get that thing.
I'm
Okay,
not telling you those other three, Sway. I'll tell you off record.
Yeah, I know. I just took a stab at that. Because
I didn't play full clip.
I know,
right?
bro,
Or the militia. I was like, man,
I knew you was coming with because Bumpy Knuckles was in the house too.
He was.
Yeah, and I told Bumpy if I play militia, I'm gonna do the intro and then go right to his verse. You know, so and I didn't even get the militia, man.
It was amazing. Have you spoken with Swiss or Timberland since? And have they given you what did they say?
Yeah, we all spoke yesterday. Me and Rza spoke yesterday. Me, Tim, and Swiss did it. I didn't have Zoom. I got Zoom right before. Maybe an hour before the actual battle because he wanted to go over kind of what we're gonna do, and Rza didn't get on there, and we're like, well, damn, I hope he Rza said he's not too savvy with all that stuff. He's focused on a film that was about to drop, so he said, man, I don't even know how to do Zoom. I'll do my best to get on it, but if not, I'll just see what it's time to log in. First, I said that might be just to bluff and be like, well, we can't talk to each other. And we did not speak to each other before, but me, Swiss, and Tim, which I actually posted on my IG story, a picture of us on Zoom together, and Rza's square is empty. You know, so that was our interaction right before, and then I spoke to the guys afterwards and everything. But the Swiss and Tim are real cool dudes. I mean, we all respect each other's music. We all pick each other up whenever we're mentioned in interviews. So it was just an easy thing. And then we were talking about other ones that should come up, or don't do this one, don't do that one. And then on top of that, I really didn't even want to do the battle. I told him I'll do it if Dre does it. I said, if Dre does it with me, I'll do it. I said, otherwise I'm not doing it. He said, well, what about Pete? And me and Pete toured so much doing our battle tours. I said, well, a lot of people are familiar with me and Pete, even when we did the amphitheater twice, so we packed it out in New York, and he blew the powwow, and everybody knows that. But when it came to so I don't really want to do that live because me and Pete just have it down pat from doing it for so many years. But when he said, what about the RZA? I was like, shit, you think you're going to be able to get him? And he's like, let me call you right back. And he called me not even 10 minutes later. I'm like, RZA said he's down. I'm like, I'll do it with him because I said he'll have a strong 20, you know, that I know will go back to back and put us under pressure to come in. So that's why I said, he's really the only one I can think of that I would be down to battle. Otherwise, I told him I don't want to do it at all.
Yo, Preem, man, I want to thank you for calling in, bro. Jeez, man, I'm telling you, bro. Tell Swiss, Tim, and Rza, just package it. If y'all need help doing that, we got a whole TV team, whatever, video production. We can do it ourselves. Package it, man. Let the public have it. I'm sure we can get the records cleared. And let the public.
Yeah, you know what? Big up to Swiss, man. They usually cut you off in an hour. If you reached out to Instagram and they said we're gonna let you go, and look, we went a full 3 hours. They didn't cut it off not once.
Wow. Because they were watching. Everybody at Instagram was watching.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, man. Let's make it a doc. I'm telling you, because the story's in it. The stories in it, when y'all start telling those stories, were as powerful as the hits you played, and to give it the context and walking us up.
I'm glad everybody enjoyed it. I'm looking at recaps of so many people like filming themselves dancing in their houses. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Keisha Harris, Sylvia Rone's niece. I've known her for a long time. I've lost touch with her and saw her she tagged me early this morning, like 5 in the morning. And she's dancing and singing the lyrics to Dwick, and she's a chef now. So she's got her apron on, but she's dancing around the house, you know, doing all the hip hop dances from the '90s and cooking. I was like, wow, man. You know, you even find people they even found boss people. You know, you thought Facebook could do it, music can do it. So excuse me, but I'm so happy of the turnout. I'm glad it's over because believe me, I was like a bundle of nerves right before showtime. So.
Wow, man, you did an excellent job, Preem, and you drove it too. And all the shout outs, you were wise to continue to give people shout outs. It meant a lot to a lot of people, man. All of the culture was in the house that day, was online with you, man. So thank you. Salute. Man, I felt like my locks grew back in, bro. It took me back. I was reborn. I was the old Sway, man. You know, me and King Tech were watching together, man. Tech was like, yo, what are you going to do next? You know, so.
Incredible.
Man, thank you, man. Love you, brother. Thank you for the moment. All right.
Tracy,
love you, baby.
Love you,
Mike Muse, DB, everybody.
Man, cool.
Oh,
Wonder.
Big up to Wonder, too.
Mike Muse, you want to say what up to Preem real quick?
Yo, DJ Premier, man, what you did was epic, brother. As I've always told you during our conversations, man, I just love your oral history. You are a living history, man, a living icon, a legend. I never take our time for granted, no matter how short or long it may be, brother. I got so many tags about that battle yesterday, man. So keep rocking, man, and keep telling the stories we need to hear, brother.
I love you keeping me up to date with the news. So I'm like, I watch New York One more CNN, but it's like, oh, Mike Muse is on. Let me see what he got.
OQ said you ain't shout him out, Preem. OQ said what his shout out.
OQ, shoot. There you go.
Okay. You know OQ shoots.
Yeah.
Hey, Preem, love you. Thank you for what you do for culture. Continue success, man. That's a guy, DJ Premier. My man.